Hey everyone, so now we are live in Coventry where we are blockading a McDonald's distribution centre. So this is one of four that is happening across the country at the same time. So this is Coventry in the Midlands, we're also doing London, Basingstoke and also Manchester. So that's all the distribution sites of McDonald's in the UK. So we have completely shut them down and we plan to do so for the next 24 hours at least. And as you can see from the scenes in front of me, we've got these beautiful bamboo structures that we've constructed with rebels waving from the top. We've got 3 rebels on the right hand side and 1 on the left hand side, along with a beautiful banner that says plant-based food system, and rebels on top of that, along with rebels locked on below. So as you can see, we're taking direct action against McDonald's and the rest of the animal agriculture industry because they are, in essence, destroying our planet and killing billions of animals in the meantime. And we think this is completely unacceptable. And the only reasonable thing to do now is take direct action and stop these destructive industries from continuing. And so we chose to take on McDonald's, who is the symbol of the problem, the symbol of the system that is killing us all. But McDonald's is not the only problem. It is the entire meat, dairy, egg production industry that is to blame. And we want them all to transition to a plant-based food system by 2025. And that's what we need to do for animals, for the planet, and for people. So that is our action, and that's what we're doing. And we'll be here for the next 24 hours. And hopefully you'll see some footage from the other sites as well. So yeah, and that's us. And as you can see, the police.
Hello everyone, this is live from Basingstoke. We have shut down the entrance here, as well as on the other side there is another bamboo structure over there. So we have some amazing rebels. You know, we've got no choice to be here. We have tried other methods, we really have. Everyone signs petitions, we write to our MPs, all of these things, but we need to act now. This is an urgent situation, the climate crisis that we're in. Already countless individuals are being affected in the global south, being displaced from their homes, as well as killed. Environmental activists being targeted. And so this is something that we can do. And McDonald's, as one of the leading fast food chains, they have the ability to lead the change that we need in this world, for them to lead the way and show that we can have a just and sustainable plant-based food system. We can still have cheap meals, we can still have a great time, but we need to care for our workers, we need to care for the animals, we need to care for our planet. And so, there's 3 other sites that we have across the UK, and we're showing McDonald's that, hey guys, you need to get your act together. You need to also be finding ways to fight the climate crisis. You can't just say, yeah, we're going to meet some goals. This is the best way that you can meet your goal, as animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of the climate crisis. So by removing meat and dairy from menus, that will make a massive difference. Yay, please come down if you live near Basingstoke. If you're in London, come down, show support. We'd love to see you there.
Hi everyone, I'm coming to you live from just outside Manchester, and as you can see from our banner, it says it all: meat and dairy is the climate crisis. This is an urgent crisis and we need to transition to a plant-based food system as soon as possible. But we've been here since about 4 o'clock this morning. As you can see, we've got these super tripods and we've got our activists up there, and we've also got our activists locked on the floor. Now, we've got a special message for you, and the message is going to be read out by one of our lock-ons. So who's this message from?
This message is from the legendary Dave Morris, who was one of the McLibel 2 from 1986, saying all the bad things about McDonald's. 2 of them, including Dave, defended themselves and won in the longest legal case in British history, over 10 years long. And a couple of days ago, Dave sent us a message here in Manchester. And this is the message from Dave. He says, McDonald's, the junk food multinational, spends billions of advertising pounds each year forcing its idiotic "we're wonderful" message onto the public. In reality, of course, all that such corporations care about is making massive profits any way that they can get away with it. And to do this, they continue to exploit their customers, workers, farm animals, and the environment. Instead of tolerating this any longer, society needs to act to reclaim control over the world's resources and decision making, and make sure that we create a sustainable and decent future for ourselves and future generations. Thank you, Dave Morris, legend.
Thank you. And we're going to be here for as long as it takes. We want a response from McDonald's as soon as possible. And that's us up in Manchester. And there's another site just to come.
Hey, I'm also here, just up on the tripod from where you've just been hearing, in Haywood, in Bury, North Manchester. Not a place that often sees a lot of direct action, but this is obviously a national action that's having such a massive impact on the corporate monster that is McDonald's. As you can see, some of their greenwash nonsense here about how they use their cooking oil to make biodiesel, as if that does anything to outweigh the catastrophic impact they have, not only on the environment, not only on the literally billions of animals they inflict torturous suffering on, but on the workers all over the world who are getting paid poverty wages for doing difficult, hard, long hours. McDonald's are a cancerous organisation. They cause harm and suffering in so many different ways, and that's why we're here today, disrupting them. And they might want us, the powers that be, the reactionary media, the corporate media, they want us divided. They want simple narratives that say it's us and them, rather than all of us standing together against the people who are exploiting and destroying the world. Just over there, those rooftops in the distance, you can see, I used to work over there. There's an Argos warehouse. I used to do nights working in the Argos warehouse, getting paid shitty wages for long warehouse work nights. So I know what it's like. I'm actually from here. Like, I know what it's like to work in this kind of place. And we're not against the people who work here. Like, we've made a point of making sure they can get their cars out, because we're just here to disrupt the McDonald's supply chain, to demonstrate to people what needs to happen. This can't go on. We can't carry on living like this, allowing these massive multinationals to inflict such harm on the world in so many different ways, not least the animals that they torment and kill to turn into commodities. So that's why we're here. That's why I've got all these amazing people locked on and us up tripods. And this isn't the most comfortable I've ever been in my life, but it's worth it to stand up against a truly monstrous corporation and tell them that, like, things have got to change and we've got to come together to make that change. Yeah, stay tuned, guys.
Hi, this is Badger here in Coventry, up the beacon with Pear and Tricky. We're staying warm and dry up here, and it's all been set up really successfully. We've got 2 bamboo towers up here. We got this van blocking the entranceway to the Coventry distribution hub of Martin Brown and the McDonald's McDonald's distribution network. Hey Per, so why are you here today?
Hi, so I'm here today blocking the McDonald's distribution center because I want to economically disrupt their their supply chain, to highlight the fact that we need to transition to a plant-based food system, and because we are 77% of agricultural land is being used for animal farming, and this is incredibly inefficient because only 18% of our calories are actually got from animal products. And so what we really need is to be able to rewild, reforest that land that is being used to grow soy and grow vegetables and crops that are just being used to feed animals that we then eat. It's an incredibly inefficient way of creating food for ourselves. So we need to reforest, rewild, and do a plant-based food system.
Woo. But Tricky, want to say a few words about why you're doing this, why you're up here, why you're in this really cold weather suffering up here?
So I'm up here because I feel like we don't have any other choice but to do this. Animal farming is destroying our planet. Yeah, it's climate breakdown. Like, animal farming's responsible for as much emissions from all of the transport system, but like, no one's talking about it. Governments do not have a plan. They don't even have these bullshit targets like they do for fossil fuel emissions. McDonald's don't have a plan for how their business model is gonna keep going when we're heading 3 to 4 degrees global warming in this century. How do they think they can continue this construction when people are dying already because of climate breakdown, because of extreme weather, because of people being pushed off their land for the expansion of animal agriculture. It's not a decision that we take lightly to put ourselves in these dangerous situations, and yeah, inevitably we get arrested, but what else is at stake is so much more terrifying. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can cut when you want to. I don't mind.
Hey, I'm live in Basingstoke. I'm hanging from the top of one of the bamboo structures. So yeah, I'm on my own up here, and we've got a couple of people locked on at the bottom of the structure as well. So yeah, we're here today to address the climate and animal emergency caused by animal agriculture and fishing, and obviously McDonald's are the biggest fast food chain in the world. And yeah, it's their responsibility to do something about this and to make a change. They have the power to make a change. So we're demanding that they transition to a plant-based menu by 2025, and we hope that other fast food chains and restaurant chains and well, we hope the government also helps farmers transition to a plant-based food system. So yeah, obviously one of the main reasons we do this is because of animal suffering. Animals are exploited for their bodies, their secretions, and yeah, it's totally unnecessary, and it's also destroying the planet. So the Amazon and other rainforests are being deforested just so that farmers can grow crops to feed livestock here in the UK and all over the world, when instead we could just eat plants. It's much more sustainable to eat a plant-based diet. So there are so many reasons why we're doing this, and obviously for people as well. Workers at McDonald's are paid low wages, minimum wage, often on 0-hour contracts in poor working conditions, and also people that work in the supply chain of the fast food industry and all animal ag. So like, for example, slaughterhouse workers suffer from mental health issues such as PTSD from having to kill animals every day. No one wants to do that, and no one should be forced to. Yeah, I'm just gonna dangle here until the police work out what to do with me. Yeah, they've just been standing around for us. Thank you.
So now you've had a look at 3 out of the 4 sites. London is still to come in Hemel Hempstead. They've having a few technical issues, but hopefully we'll have them live soon. And as you can tell, this is a serious bit of civil disobedience, and we urge everyone to join the rebellion and take part in direct action that is so necessary and so crucial at this time to send a message about the impacts of animal farming, both on animals and the climate. And to explain a bit more about that, we've got a 2-minute quick clip that we'll cut to, that you can kind of see why we're doing this action and why it is so important. They are a symbol of the meat industry, they're a symbol of animal agriculture, and they are a symbol for what we're doing to our planet. They are causing millions of acres of deforestation in the Amazon. They are paying people low wages and in really terrible working environments. They are killing literally millions, or if not billions, of animals worldwide. They're a symbol of the system that we're in, and a symbol of how we treat the planet and other beings.
We're just in a massive crisis right now, and things need to change quickly and drastically. If we can really highlight the fragility of the supply chains that we have at the moment, then we can help to make people more aware of the overall fragility of our food system at the moment.
McDonald's are causing rainforest deforestation, causing mass slaughter of animals. Animals are suffering just so that people can eat a burger. We know that animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of climate change. We're asking McDonald's to transition to a plant-based menu, and we want to put pressure on them and a CEO to actually make a decision and do the right thing.
I'm pretty nervous, and I'm pretty scared, I'm pretty stressed. I feel a bit nervous that we're going to take on one of the companies that's causing the most destruction globally to the environment, to animals and to people. I think it's about time that someone stands up and does something about it. We've tried year and year again doing things that aren't disruptive and we get ignored. But with this action, no one can ignore it. And that is the kind of change we need everyone to start taking.
Driving just about all kinds of life on Earth extinct, and I can't sit by and watch that happen the rest of my life.
Great, and hopefully, as everyone saw, that is the reason why we're taking action today. And the thing is, everyone can take action, and we need everyone to join the rebellion. And even though our situation is so dire and the crisis is so large and looming, luckily, we can make a difference, and all it takes is ordinary people, just like all of us, coming together to make a stand against these destructive corporations and these institutions that uphold oppression and exploitation. And as you can see, all it takes is committed and passionate people who care about making a difference to do something positive. And as you can see, there's literally almost 100, if not hundreds of rebels around the UK taking action today against McDonald's. And we don't want it to stop here. We want it to grow. We want it to be not just McDonald's, but every corporation and institution that upholds animal farming, that involves environmental destruction. We want them all to stand up and listen and stop, and then change their ways and transform into something much more positive. So we want everyone to join the rebellion. Come to the Animal Rights March, 28th of August, coming up this year. Come to G7, go on our website and sign up and get involved, because we need everyone. Because frankly, like the situation is so dire, we need everyone to take part, and it is our moral duty to make a change. And what more could you do than being involved in amazing action with such beautiful and passionate, inspiring individuals? It really is the best feeling in the world. So yeah, that's why you just got to join us. Yes. How's that?
Totally.
Yeah, sure.
Hey Badger, am I meant to be interviewing you?
Or actually, do you want to hold it to get the...
McDonald's, there's trees in the background.
Okay. Badger, can you hear me?
I wonder how the
Yeah, I
audio...
can hear you, Vet. I hear you,
Great, great.
Paula.
So tell me, what is it like being on the top of a quite large and precarious looking bamboo structure that you can probably see in the back, and how does it feel right now to be doing this outside
it
McDonald's?
feels it feels invigorating. It feels really relieving to be able to take action that will have an impact on the course of our systems, big scale systems, especially food, our meat system.
Mm. And how come you chose to take direct action like this today rather than signing a petition?
Because there have been so many good people trying through those legitimate channels to affect these changes, and it just hasn't worked. We're heading towards like global ecosystem collapse, like on so many ecosystems, and the meat food system is causing that. It's driving deforestation, like the Amazon. Like 80% of deforestation there is to make land for animal farming. And rainforests have been destroyed at like 1 to 2 acres a second, largely to create land to farm for beef. Like this like terrifying destruction's happening,
Yeah.
and
And
it's
how
all to
does that make
produce
you all?
meat.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel in terms of the scale
Oh,
of the
you're just going
crisis?
really quiet.
Oh,
But
I was asking how does it make you feel when you think about the scale of the emergency?
when I really think about it, I mean, when you really think about it, you can only like break down and cry, really, because it's like everything beautiful you've seen in the world, like being burnt and wilting and washed away in flood and drought and war. Like it's terrifying. It's really terrifying to think that all the beautiful things we see in the natural world around us will be dying in my lifetime. Like my lifetime for sure. It's beyond terrifying. It's like numbingly horrible.
Mm. But then being with some amazing rebels makes you feel differently, or makes you feel like we've got a chance to change it all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like whenever you take action with people like all my friends here today, you just feel like you can achieve anything because lots of people have come together to do this, to doing things they've never done before. Like lots of people built these towers that have never done stuff like that before, and people just find that when everyone accepts that they're in an emergency situation, they have to do what is necessary, and they do. People do, and people work it out. People work it out together, and we can do that if we like accept that it's an emergency.
Mm. And if you had one final message for any viewers at home, what would you say?
Don't wait for anyone to save you or the things you love. You have to start doing it yourself.
Cool. Thank you, Badger. Thanks for that. As you can see, waving at me from the top of the beacon to our lovely film crew. Cool, and that's our beacon interview number 1 done. And yeah, this is cool. Great. Oh, and Vlad, if I drop off for a second and come back on, would it work?
Hey there, everyone, back at Basingstoke here. This is the bottom of the beacon, and we're going to do an interview with our brave individual just up there in the beacon. So, hello, everyone. Yeah. Yes. So we're not in interview mode yet, but that's okay. We'll use an interview very soon. I'm just going to keep showing you guys this amazing structure. This structure has been used a few times, and for so many different things, and now Animal Rebellion is using it to shut down the McDonald's distribution centers. And we're going to be here for as long as possible. So now we're just going to cut into the interview.
Hey.
Hey, Rose. How are you feeling up there?
I'm feeling good, but yeah, quite cold, and yeah, just cold really, a little bit hungry, but yeah, I'm good.
Can I ask what led you to take action today?
Well, yeah, similar to what Badger said, I think, yeah, like we've tried so many other routes, signing petitions, doing outreach in the street, and it's just not enough. And yeah, we really wanted to make an impact, and to do that, we had to take this kind of action. And this is the kind of action that's going to get press. It's actually going to make McDonald's listen, because yeah, they don't have to listen to people writing into them or posting on social media or signing petitions, but when we're actually affecting their business and yeah, making them lose money, then yeah, they're going to listen. So yeah, I think this is an effective form of activism. This is quite a new form of activism to me as well, and yeah, I think hopefully yeah, people will see what we're doing and be inspired as well, and yeah, I hope our message gets out there.
Right, and we have received a few mentions in newspapers, a few articles and radio interviews, which is really cool. Hopefully we get more. But is there anything that you'd like to say to anyone who is thinking they obviously care a lot for the climate, they care a lot for animals, but aren't sure what to do? Is there any words that you can give them to inspire them or to help them take those first steps?
Yeah, I think, well, yeah, even if you think that, yeah, I've previously felt helpless or I can't do anything because the issue is so big, but every single person here today has a role and a really important role. And I think, yeah, just get in touch with Animal Rebellion, find out how you can get involved. Not everyone has to lock on to structures or on the ground or whatever. You can be live streaming, you could be having a social media, and there's so many jobs behind the scenes that people don't see. So yeah, there's so many different ways people can get involved. So yeah, just get in touch and see how you can help.
Absolutely. Honestly, I think that what makes Animal Rebellion so amazing is all the different people that I have met that inspire me and that I learned so much from. So if you can, see how you can get involved, check out your local groups if there is any, or see if you can set up one of your own local groups. And as she just said, that there are so many different ways that we can be involved as well and take action. Is there anything, if the CEO was right here today, is there anything that you would say to him or they, them?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd say transition to a plant-based menu as soon as possible. But yeah, we're asking them to do that by 2025, which I think they have plenty of time to do. And yeah, we've seen other fast food chains and restaurant chains like IKEA, Wagamama, who have committed to going 50% plant-based already. So I think McDonald's should at least be doing that and taking the next step to go 100% plant-based. Because yeah, there's no excuse, and yeah, we're not going to have a planet to live on if they carry on this way. So yeah, it's a win-win situation for everyone basically, to go plant-based. So yeah, do it now.
Amazing. I got maybe one final question for you, a bit of a fun one. Do you actually have a fear of heights? How are you feeling up there?
I don't know, but I think it's natural to be a little bit scared of heights. But no, I feel fine right now. Yeah, it's just when it's windy and wobbly, it's a little bit scary. But yeah, no, I feel pretty secure right now.
Oh, good. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. That's our interview done. And keep looking to see what the other sites are doing. There's so much going on and so many amazing people involved in it, as we've said, and so many different visuals. So hopefully we can keep getting that press attention and this message can keep getting out there. We're not stopping, so please don't think that we're going to stop. Keep following us and everything and see if you can get involved as well. We'd love to see you here as well.
That's right.
Hi, welcome back to Hayward, just outside Manchester. So we're going to have an interview with one of our lock-ons here, Mr. Lady.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome. Good
So,
to see you.
Mr. Lady, why are you doing this today?
Well, between you and me, I don't really want to be doing it. It's cold, it's scary, it's not much fun, but in all honesty, the alternative of us not doing something like this is more scary. The government has no intention of dealing with this climate crisis. It's in the pocket of big business like McDonald's, and McDonald's utilised their lengthy supply chain, Martin Brower, all massive supply chain of people to obfuscate their responsibility. They greenwash the sides of these lorries saying that they recycle their cooking oil. Well, that's fine and all, but what about all the fucking rainforests that you chop down to grow all the soy to kill the 68,000 cows that you murder every day? McDonald's, what I'd say to you is what I'd say to anyone else at this time. You either adapt to the changing paradigm or you go extinct. What's it going to be? Right, we'll be here. Come chat to us. We'll talk to you later.
That's powerful. Okay, and so how are you feeling down there? Is it comfortable?
Fucking fantastic. Great. I highly recommend this. Honestly, I was shit scared, but anyone, it's time to fucking do something. Get off your ass, come out here and change the system, because if you don't, we're fucked.
Thank you, Mr. Lady. Okay, and we've still got our people up on the tripods, but we also have a very special guest here today who has a message for us. So, Ronald, what do you think of this?
I think this is great. I've been involved with McDonald's a long time, and I realize the error of my ways. I'm really sorry.
What are you sorry for?
I'm sorry because the whole world has known for decades now about the harm that McDonald's and the animal agriculture industries are doing to the environment and to the Amazon rainforest and indigenous peoples and food security around the world. And they haven't changed. They're not listening to what people have been saying to them. They need to change, and they're just not doing it.
Okay, cool. And so what message would you give to the CEO of McDonald's now?
Move your business to a plant-based business.
Thank you, Ronald. Okay, and I think we're going over to our tripod expert up there. Okay.
Sorry, that's just saving battery. There we go. Hello.
There we go. Hey, how are you doing up there?
I've been more comfortable. I won't talk about the particular bit of my body which is taking a bit of a pounding, but you can probably work that out. But got a couple of cushions, so it's definitely not as bad as it could be if I was on straight up bamboo. But yeah, I'm doing okay.
Okay. Hey, and why are you doing this today?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I'll just tell you like a very short story about an old activist friend of mine, very short story, who actually sadly died a couple of years ago. He lost his job as an English teacher because he put a brick through the windows of the first McDonald's to open in Bolton, where he was from. Because people knew decades ago what kind of impact places like McDonald's were going to have on communities, sucking money out of local communities, destroying local independent businesses, shops, takeaways, restaurants. Like McDonald's ruins all of that. Like it sucks money out of communities, sends it off to the CEO in God knows where. Like there is nothing good. If you believe in regenerating communities, like a lot of parts of Bury like really need it, like McDonald's is the last thing we need. We need to drive them out of our towns and actually focus on like independent, locally owned, cooperatively run, plant-based food and eateries, and actually bring like, you know, business and wealth back to communities. That's a big part of my motivation. Another one is obviously like kind of inconceivable levels of animal suffering that institutions like McDonald's cause. Like it's sort of beyond comprehension, the horror that they inflict on intelligent creatures for, you know, the most trivial reasons. And I feel like this kind of action is so necessary to expose them because they're built around their happy, clappy, let's give kids some toys image. They literally have a clown as their mascot, and obviously clowns taking on a pretty sinister vibe these days. But yeah, I think it's really important to challenge them because we can literally see on the vans here they're preaching about their biodiesel made out of the cooking oil. Like their whole business model has always been based on greenwash and lies. And I think calling that out as directly and as strongly as possible is super important.
Yeah, and a lot of people will see this action and they'll think, oh, I could never do that. What would you say to them?
I mean, everyone feels like that. We all felt like that before we did. And it does feel like stepping outside of those acceptable channels of protest, those acceptable channels of behaviour. Like, it is super scary the first times you do it. But it's important, it's necessary, it's vital, because sticking within those acceptable channels isn't getting us anywhere. So, yeah, like, when you've got, people you trust, friends around you, take that plunge and actually step into this, like, direct action space, because it's an essential part of how we're going to change things.
Yeah, nice. And what would your message be to the CEO of McDonald's right now?
Give back all your ill-gotten gains to the abused people of the world that you've taken advantage of to make yourself rich. Beg forgiveness from the indigenous peoples of the Amazon, the exploited workers in every country McDonald's operates in, and spend the rest of your life trying to make up for what you've done and what you've contributed to. And yeah, pass your business over in someone who's going to make it a giant cooperative plant-based enterprise, because that's what we need, and I don't think we're going to get it from the current administration.
So many of the activists here, including you, are also with Extinction Rebellion, North Extinction Rebellion Manchester, and we also have some Hunt Sabs. This is a great alliance of groups. How would people get involved with XR Manchester or Animal Rebellion Northwest? What would you say?
Just look up your local groups, contact through, use social media channels. There's a lot of ways of just reaching out initially. And yeah, we're always really keen for new blood. So yeah, just reach out, just send a message to a Facebook page or a Twitter account, or someone will get back to you. And yeah, we need people's passion, we need people's skills, we need people's love for the world, and willingness to fight. So please, come and join us, because we need you. We need all of you. We need all of us. So yeah, just reach out and get involved, whatever way you can.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thanks, Snail, and good work up there. Carry on. Excellent.
Great. So, yep, we are back in Coventry, and as an update from the police, they've been here pretty much watching us idly for about a good 6 hours now, actually, and they don't look like they're ready to cut us out anytime soon. So we're really confident that we're going to be here for a substantial amount of time. We're thinking 24 hours would be the minimum, I think, is how long we want to stay. And ideally, we'd have restaurants running out of burgers kind of over the next few days, because that's the kind of disruption we want to see and we think is necessary to actually change the world. So yeah. And then, as you can see, we've got a very happy, smiling Badger, and our activists are braving the cold. It's a bit chilly, it's a bit windy, but luckily people are passionate and dedicated enough to kind of overcome some of that adversity and put their bodies on the line and risk their liberties, because they care just so much about animals, they care so much about people, and they care so much about the climate. And it's really beautiful to see this coming together. Yeah. And actually, in all fairness, the police and the people actually working here have been really facilitating our protest. So just to clarify, we've only blocked the entrance of the delivery trucks. We have not blocked the employee car park, which you can see over there. And you can see this huge building. This is entirely the McDonald's distribution center. We've only blocked the HEV entrance, so employees are free to come and go as they wish. We've told them once their shift ended to not bring in the new shift because, frankly, they would not be working for a substantial amount of time, and we didn't want them to basically waste their time and drive here. So we've been trying to be as honest as possible with them and trying to make sure everyone has a relatively stress-free and relaxed day. And yeah, so I think, again, as my friend Snail said, we're here to be with people and not against anyone who works here, but against the corporations and the systems that uphold this destruction. So yeah, that's what we're about. And that's all for me. Should I do?
Hello everyone, back in Basingstoke. This is back at the exit. As we've been saying, yeah, we haven't blocked the car park. The car park is on the other side, so everyone's been coming and going. But all the trucks, I don't know how much you can see, but it's just massive, this building back here that we have successfully blocked. And so we've got 2 on the roof there, and 3 actually in this really tall structure that we have up here, which is just incredible. They've been, you know, braving the wind, as we've been saying. Hopefully it's going to be nicer today. The sun is not quite here, but anyway, it just goes to show this is how passionate we are, and this is what we can do. You know, we are all really, really concerned about the future of our planet. We know that our future is heading towards already a lot of difficulties with you know, potentially fishless oceans by 2048 and a climate breakdown by 2050, as some research says. And, you know, that's within my lifetime, within so many people's lifetimes, and we want to protect the future of our planet, the future of our children's planets, our own future. And this is the time to act. The time is now, and we can't keep saying that we can have these small goals, you know, here and there. As everyone's been saying, there's been a lot of talk for a very long time with the Paris Agreement and things of all these like promises that the governments are giving, and we are still yet to see real action take place. And when we continue to subsidize these destructive industries of animal farming, animal fishing and farming, these destructive industries that are clearly one of the leading causes of the climate crisis, that take the lives of upwards of 70 billion animals a year, and we're not sure how many fish, something like 1 to 3 trillion fish a year. When these industries continue to be subsidized, our taxpayer money continues to go towards them, so they can continue taking lives and destroying our planet. When we can feed that many animals, 70 billion animals a year, and yet we can't feed the 7 billion humans that we have on this planet, our whole system needs to change. It needs to be a system of compassion, one that cares for the planet, one that cares for all life. So this is our massive structure. The workers and the police have been quite friendly with us, and as we continue to say, we don't want to disrupt, we don't want to be here on our Saturday morning until we don't even know when. We'd love to have a normal weekend. We've all got our dreams and our hopes, but it is absolutely necessary for us to be here. So please, if you are free over the next 24 hours and you can come down to one of our sites, please do so. We would love to see you here, and everyone here would just love to have any type of support.
Oh, right now today?
Yeah, we're going. Oh yeah, we're on.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah, we're still up here. We're still up the tower, holding the gates closed.
It's really, really cold. It's raining. I'd really rather not be here. My feet are absolutely freezing and I'm just trying not to think about it. But I am really glad to be here because this is what I feel I have to do in order to bring this issue to people's attention. And direct action and civil disobedience has worked in previous cases. And it's just really important to me that I actually act in line with my values. So if I believe the house is on fire and this planet is on fire, I have to act in line with that because I just don't understand like when are we going to change things around? If it's not now, if it's not us, who are we waiting for? Because we just keep continuing for the last few decades that we've known about the climate crisis and the ecological crisis. And yet normal daily life just keeps on continuing. So we need the government to stop funding animal agriculture, and because it is releasing the same amount of emissions as transport is, so that's absolutely massive. And we also need the government to help farmers transition into more plant-based food systems and plant-based farming. And that's really key as well, because we don't want it to just be all on individuals to make all these changes themselves. We need to change the whole structure and the system that will help people to make easier choices about making more plant-based choices, basically. Plant-based food systems choices.
Yeah, yeah, well put. It's hard to get all your words out here when you're getting so cold and numb in the lips.
Yeah.
We're in the sociable beacon over here, and our friends. Do you want to give a wave? We're live. Hi.
How are you doing? You're good. Okay.
Cool.
We're live streaming.
Oh yeah. Are we?
We've got lots of support people on the ground here.
And people locked on the ground.
And people locked on underneath those umbrellas. And one thing that's been really, really nice is that we're not getting that much traffic or footfall here, but of the people who have gone past, so many people have said, yeah, great work, well done, thank you for doing this, and giving us big thumbs up and beeping the horn.
We're off now. Oh no, we're back.
Oh,
yeah, loads of thumbs up from passers-by.
It's really nice
it's
to get
very
the support from members of the public on the ground here.
Yeah, it's been very supportive. I mean, it's not the busiest part of Coventry here, this industrial park roundabout, but all the people that come past on their morning jog or cycle are seem to be pretty happy to see us and giving us a wave and a thumbs up. So, anything on your mind, Tricky?
I mean, I'm just looking at all these like dozens of trucks queued up, not going anywhere, and it just makes you think. Yeah, full of burgers that have caused such a huge environmental impact, and it makes you think like, one person going vegan or whatever, having a vegetarian meal once a week, just like won't do shit in this. Again, a system that is just so wide-reaching, and the destruction in that system is so wide-reaching that it's systemic change that we need. And it reminds us of what we're doing, disrupting that death spiral system is proportionate. Waiting for everyone to change their consumption habits is not proportionate and is not appropriate for the scale of the emergency we're in. And I don't want to look back in many years' time and feel like I didn't do enough to confront the crisis that we're in. And I think kidding ourselves that technology will save us or we just need to change our consumption habits, it's going to lead to just this intergenerational death that by following that thought pattern, we're stealing the future of future generations and the well-being of people suffering today in places that have done the least to contribute to the climate emergency.
Thanks, Tricky. I think we can say we're doing an abyss today.
Hey, it's me again. I'm hanging out in Basingstoke at the top of one of the bamboo structures. Yeah, you can see below me, got two people locked on down there as well. And yeah, it's pretty cold, a little bit windy. But yeah, I think it's quite uncomfortable up here, but it's nothing compared to what animals go through in animal ag and fishing industries. Nothing compared to the suffering that they go through. It's nothing compared to the suffering that people have to go through when the effects, well, we're already seeing the effects of climate change and people are already suffering because of it. And there are going to be a lot more effects that we'll see in the future as well. So yeah, this it was just a day of small amount of suffering sitting up here compared to what the animals and what people go through. And basically we're asking McDonald's to make a change and transition to a plant-based menu and lead the way for other fast food chains and restaurants to hopefully go plant-based too. We're acting today because it's emergency. We're running out of resources. Climate change is real. It's happening now, and the animal emergency is real too. Billions of animals, trillions of animals, including fish, every year are killed just to be eaten. So it's totally unsustainable for this planet. And we can't go on this way. So that's why, desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. That's why we're here today. I've got supporters down here as well. Looking cold too. Police haven't, it's been really quiet. Don't really know what's going on with the police yet. They haven't tried to remove anyone yet, as far as I know.
Hey again, everyone, on the other side of Basingstoke. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope that you've learnt more about what is happening with the climate crisis and what Animal Rebellion is trying to do about it. There are so many different ways to get involved, as we said, and it is when we come together, when we form these alliances with different groups, when we stand in solidarity with each other, that we can overcome these destructive and dangerous systems that are really harming so many sentient beings, all animals, human and non-human. It's time that we put compassion first and people over profit, animals over profit. We need to stop treating animals as commodities and stop treating our planet like it has an infinite amount of resources that we can continue to exploit. So this is something that we can do, and please stay tuned because we're going to be here for a long time. And no matter what, with these different bills that the government tries to put in place to try and silence free speech and try to make protests seem like something scary that you should be afraid of, it's absolutely not. We are here peacefully, we're non-violent, and we're taking direct action because we know that through social change history that this is what works and it needs to happen. So please continue to look out for Animal Rebellion, Extinction Rebellion, and all these other groups that are trying to fight for a better world that is more compassionate. Thank you so much, everyone.
Hey, still up on the tripod in Haywood, in Bury, in North Manchester. Just give you Ronald's, you know, really greeting the passers-by very wonderfully. And yeah, I think just one thing I do want to say again is that, you know, a lot of people in this country. Oh, yeah. A lot of people in this country are obviously really struggling, and they're pretty desperate for like any work they can find, any sort of financial security they can get. But McDonald's is not, you know, organisations like McDonald's are not the solution to that. They are not security, they're not dignity, they're not what our communities need. We need a complete overhaul of how our economy functions in this country to guarantee people security, to guarantee people dignity and decency in their work. And McDonald's are not the answer to that. So we appreciate that people are just doing what they need to do to survive. That's not who this is aimed at. It's aimed at the massive corporate giants and the elite class of people who benefit from the horrible exploitation, the horrible destruction that McDonald's and those like them are responsible for. You know, ordinary people here, they're not the ones benefiting from that. They're the ones being abused, just like the animals, just like, you know, the ecosystems. So yeah, I think it's really important that we look at this holistically and think we've got to change everything. We've got to change how McDonald's functions. We've got to change how all these corporations function so that we actually benefit people and planet and animals and not just those seeking profit.
Now we're back in Coventry and we're going to do a quick interview with Paul, who's locked on onto this lovely biscuit. You can read it. It says meat and dairy equals climate crisis. And let's ask this rebel, how come you took action today? Or why are you doing this?
Well, basically because 40 years ago I watched a film about chicken engines and the Amazon being chopped down, and McDonald's at the time on their own, nowadays through JVS, Cardinals, are the people that are responsible for that destruction in the rainforest. What it means, right, is that, you know, the people that are doing it over there, it's not that they don't like trees, right? They chop down trees because we pay them, and there's no need for McDonald's to be doing that. 10 years ago, they gave a guarantee that they were going to stop sourcing from clear-felled Amazonian rainforest, and they have simply not complied with that. They keep pushing the date back. It's not acceptable. This is separate from whether or not people accept the whole meat industry, right? It's just not, there is no solution to the world's climate problems that involves destruction of our rainforests. Full stop. That's my reason for being here.
Cool. Thank you, Tam, very much. So yeah, as you heard, there's a variety of reasons why people have taken action today, whether it's for people, like for workers who are being exploited by companies like McDonald's, for people who care greatly about the climate crisis, or for people who care deeply about animals and the suffering they experience. There is a plethora of reasons why animal agriculture is destructive to our society and why we must end it. And just in terms of back in the action, so unfortunately we couldn't have anyone from our Hemel Hempstead or our London site live on the call today due to someone having a broken phone, which is bad timing. But just to clarify, we do have all 4 sites of McDonald's distribution shut down. And they have been for 6 hours already, and there probably will be for another at least 20. So that's to clarify that McDonald's is getting 0 trucks out to any of their restaurants, definitely today and hopefully tomorrow as well. So, and that is the impact that direct action can have. Normally McDonald's supplies 1,300 restaurants, that's 1,300 restaurants every day, and feeds 3.8 million customers daily according to their own website. And that is the kind of impact you can have even with a relatively small group of dedicated rebels taking serious direct action. And frankly, that's the kind of magnitude of disruption we need to cause to get our voices heard. And clearly that's already working. We've been covered in Sky, BBC, The Guardian, Daily Mail, and even some Sri Lankan newspapers. So literally broad national newspapers, and because that's what we need to do. We need to start a national conversation around the need to end animal farming and fishing. And so that's why we're here today, and that's why we're going to keep being here for as long as it takes, and we're going to keep taking direct action until we get the change we need. And we need everyone to join us. We need to do this all together. So as a closing bit, I urge everyone to go to our website or social media. You can go on Animal Rebellion or www.animalrebellion.org. Sign up to our newsletter, come to the Animal Rights March we're doing end of August, come to our rebellion, get involved, because frankly there's nothing that I'd rather be doing than taking action, doing things I'm deeply passionate about with people that are so amazing, and I think can't wait to see you all there. And so yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and yeah, join the rebellion and see you all soon, I hope.
They are a symbol of the meat industry, they're a symbol of animal agriculture, and they are a symbol for what we're doing to our planet. They are causing millions of acres of deforestation in the Amazon. They are paying people low wages and in really terrible working environments. They are killing literally millions, or if not billions, of animals worldwide. They're a symbol of the system that we're in, and a symbol of how we treat the planet and other beings.
We're just in a massive crisis right now, and things need to change quickly and drastically. If we can really highlight the fragility of the supply chains that we have at the moment, then we can help to make people more aware of the overall fragility of our food system at the moment.
McDonald's are causing rainforest deforestation, causing mass slaughter of animals. Animals are suffering just so that people can eat a burger. We know that animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of climate change. We're asking McDonald's to transition to a plant-based menu, and we want to put pressure on them and a CEO to actually make a decision and do the right thing.
I'm pretty nervous, and I'm pretty scared, pretty stressed. I feel a bit nervous that we're going to take on one of the companies that's causing the most destruction globally to the environment, to animals and to people. I think it's about time that someone stands up and does something about it. We tried year and year again doing things that aren't disruptive and we need to get ignored. But with this action, no one can ignore it. And that is the kind of change we need everyone to start taking.
Driving just about all kinds of life on Earth extinct, and I can't sit by and watch that happen the rest of my life.